What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Burgundy Boss back here with another recap of the nightly primetime games. And tonight we saw the Minnesota Vikings, who are trying to make a playoff push, take on the Green Bay Packers, who are trying to lock up the number one seed. And we sure found out Aaron Rodgers don't play those games. Aaron Rodgers, as Stephen A likes to say, is a bad man. Aaron Rodgers came out ready to prove that he should be back to back MVP winners. So, with that being said, let's jump right in. Let's jump on the Packers side of this one real quick. Coming into this game, Green Bay was 12-3, trying to lock up that number one seed in the NFC. Cowboys did them a favor. They lost to Arizona earlier in the day. So, all they had to do was win this game to lock up the number one seed. Well, they came in and Aaron Rodgers, he grabbed that thing and he never let go. I mean, they were up. This was 20-3 at halftime, folks. 20-3. It was a shellacking, front to back. I mean, this was never like even a 37-10 score doesn't even do it justice. Because it was 20-3 at half, and they're entering that final quarter. It was still, I mean, that was the closest the game had ever been. And that was 27-10 at the closest at any point in that game, which is amazing. I think it shows the level of talent that the Green Bay Packers have. I think it shows the ability of all those defensive players they have, and it shows the ability of those offensive players as well. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones. I mean, they have a rookie offensive lineman who is playing at a Pro Bowl level right now in Royce Newman. I mean, they got John Runyon up front. They're playing without their all-pro left tackle. They've been playing without their all-pro left tackle all season long. And let me just say, coming from a Washington fan who always, complains about injuries and things of that sort, that, you know, I bet you that there's not a Packers fan out there that's complaining right now because they have injuries. They haven't had Jair Alexander. They haven't had Bakhtiari. They haven't had Zadarius Smith most of the season. Like these guys, I mean, it's that they're playing with true next man up mentality on every snap. So I'm going to read off some stats real quick that came from this game. Aaron Rodgers had an excellent game in this one. He didn't surpass 300 yards, but that's okay. He goes for 288 and 2 touchdowns. He goes 29 of 38. Yes, that's only 9 incompletions on 40 throws. That's an MVP number. He's playing at an MVP level, which is why he's going to win his second MVP in a row. Aaron Rodgers is Brady without the rings. He doesn't have near as many rings, but it's like he goes to the championship every year and then it just collapses. And then he complains all offseason because he doesn't have help, which that's cool. Let Aaron do Aaron's thing. That's kind of what pushed Brady out of New England, was him complaining about not having help. So that's cool, Aaron. Do your thing. Jordan Love even came in, went 2 for 4 for 20 yards. Like, Jordan Love came in, and I'm like, okay, Mariota vibes, Like, he can throw the ball if he has to, but I really don't want him to. And if he does come in, I really just want him to, try to find a wide open receiver. And if there's not a wide open receiver, just tuck and run. Just pick up the first down, son. Come in and do your job. That's kind of how I feel about Jordan Love right now. I mean, and they are just a rushing gauntlet right now. Like they were on the broadcast tonight. They were talking about Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside. Mr. Inside was AJ Dillon, old Quadzilla, the Quad Father, whatever you want to call him. He was a monster tonight. He's a 250-pound wrecking ball, second-year man out of Boston College. I mean, just wrecking guys' days. And like next week, we're going to see Jordan Love and Patrick Taylor and, a lot of those guys, a lot of the Packer starters are going to get rest next week. That's cool. But Aaron Jones comes out, has himself a night, 8 carries, 76 yards. Solid night for Aaron Jones. Really, the story of the night was the four-spoken quad father, the Quadzilla, whatever you want to call him, Aaron Jones Jr., I guess, A.J. Dillon. 14 for 63 and 2 touches. The 2 touches really kind of take the cake off everything. Rodgers even scrambled a couple times for 8 yards, no big deal. Devontae Adams had a big night. He did. A lot is being made about his catches. He just broke his own record, his own Packers record for receptions in a season. He comes out tonight, 11 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown. Just Devontae Adams doing Devontae Adams things. That's all there is to it. Point blank. Period. End of story. Allen Lazard even comes in. He made a great red zone catch, by the way. That you can only make if you have a guy who's 6'5" making that reception. It's just a 50-50 ball, and you have a 6'5" guy on a corner who's 5'11", 6 foot maybe, and he just goes up and snatches that thing, high points the ball, comes down with it, secures it, gets the 2 feet inbounds. That's all there is to it. So Allen Lazard was number 2. He had 72 yards and a touch. Solid game for him even, Equanimous is getting a lot more playing time, I'm seeing. I think he's getting more playing time because he's shown that he is a willing blocker in this thing. That he's kind of that Robert Woods. If Green Bay needs a guy that is a Robert Woods type, that's their Robert Woods type. That's Equanimous St. Brown. I mean, he was a 5th or 6th round pick out of Notre Dame. He's got a brother right now that's kind of outplaying him, like by far. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's playing for the Lions of all teams. But, and when he came out, there was a lot of speculation, and there was some draft pundits that said, wait a minute now. We know, Equanimous is 6'5", and he's a height, weight, speed freak and everything, but he's got a little brother that has him beat. He's better than he is. And is out at USC. His name is Amon-Ra St. Brown. And, I mean, he's really been out playing Equanimous to this point. Like, he's putting up touchdowns week in, week out for the Lions. He's been one of their only, offensive bright spots this season. It's crazy to see. It's something like we would see in Washington, some random guy popping out of nowhere, kind of outplaying his more popular older brother. We headed onto the defensive side. It was a pretty quiet night. The edge rushers, Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary, they both got a sack. That was cool. No interceptions. Nothing special on special teams, of course. Matt LaFleur looking like a great coach, making Daniel Snyder once again look like a fool. Because Daniel Snyder had Matt LaFleur, he had Sean McVay, he had Zach Taylor, all during that Mike Shanahan time. He had all those guys, and he let all of them walk because he wanted Jay Gruden. He felt like he didn't have any answers in house. Well, there's 4 or 5 guys in there, Dan, that say you're wrong because they've went on to lead men and lead them to postseason glory, and it's looking like a big mistake on your part right now. But that's okay. We can handle it. Us Washington fans can pretty much handle anything. Back to this game. Now, I want to talk about Minnesota for a minute. Minnesota, ironically, having Kirk Cousins, maybe it's the Kirk Cousins effect. I don't know. But they look a lot like I see Washington right now. And I am not in the boat with Washington as a lot of people are, where a quarterback fixes all problems. We have everything we need. Drop a quarterback in the bucket. And because if that were the case, Taylor Heineke would be enough. But he's not. He's far from it. He needs more. Taylor Heineke, like we've been saying, kind of is as true with Kirk Cousins. He's not going to win you the game, but he's also not going to lose you the game. Except Taylor Heineke does lose you the game sometimes. Makes me throw things on my TV. It's a bad time. Just don't be any part of it. It's horrible. Minnesota, though, I mean, strong defensive head coach. Defense, okay, middle of the pack defense. And, has somewhat of a strong run game like Washington. And they just, like, the offense as a whole just cannot put it all together to put points on the board. Like, great 20-20 offense, but when you get in that red zone, you either turn it over or you take 3, and that's kind of what happened tonight. They did get the one late touchdown. That really didn't help things for them, honestly. It really didn't. It was, it was a stat patter, really. I mean, Sean Mannion throws the touchdown. KJ Osborne standing there ready for it, but it was all for nothing. I mean, they're now officially eliminated. Same thing that happened to Washington today. They got eliminated. Really, all Philly needed was to win, and they were knocking Minnesota out, basically, because I don't think there were many people out there that think that Minnesota was going to lose tonight Minnesota was going to win tonight to Green Bay, and Green Bay wasn't thinking that they were going to lose. And they didn't. Aaron Rodgers said, "Give me that. I want that." So, Sean Mannion, kind of what you would expect, really. He didn't turn the ball over. 22 of 36, a little above 50%. 189 yards and a touchdown, you lucked into one. He did show some escapability tonight. That was kind of interesting to see out of him. I didn't know that he could run at all. Like, I thought he was going to look like Garrett Gilbert looked a couple weeks ago in Philly, but he didn't. Sean Mannion had some legs on him. That was nice. I was like, okay, I see you. I don't think Kirk Cousins runs on that play, nor do I think Kirk Cousins gets the first down on it. Sean Mannion's 6'6". Kirk Cousins is 6'3". Kirk Cousins moves like a snail, moves like Tom Brady out of high school. Kellen Mond came in, made a couple throws. Didn't really know what to think. They made things pretty easy on him. Little short passes, little screens, nothing crazy. I really kind of wanted to see a little bit more out of Mond, but it was like they brought Mond in for one drive, he 3-and-outed, and so on the next drive they brought back in Mannion. It was, whatever. It was kind of the same thing that happened with Love. It was like, whatever. I can't really take anything away from it. I didn't see enough. There was not enough content there for me to make a judgment on. So we'll see. Like, I thought that they were going to really put him out there and like determine, okay, is this our guy for the future, or do we need to go after one of these guys in the offseason? Maybe they think that Mond is still the answer. I don't know. Viking fans, tell me below. Is Kellen Mond the future? Is he a stopgap thing? Is he like a project that Zimmer is trying? Also, tell me how you feel about Zimmer. I know some Viking fans, they can't stand Zimmer. I have a buddy who lives up in Minnesota, and he cannot stand Zimmer. He wants Zimmer gone yesterday. He can't stand it. And, that happens with struggling teams. And another reason that I compare Minnesota to Washington a lot is they both are like 500-ish teams, never bad enough to get these elite players, even though Washington a couple years ago got Chase Young, number 2 overall. But, never bad enough that you're going to get those great players, and never good enough to say, wow, we had a really good season. It's kind of, you're always in the middle, and it's called being stuck in mediocrity. It's like, well, good enough is good enough. Yeah, that's why it's called good enough. It sucks. It sucks being stuck in mediocrity. I'm a Washington fan, and we have not had a franchise quarterback for 25 years. And I've only been a fan for about 20. So, be that as it may, I feel like that's the plan going forward, Washington. Please Please save my sanity. As for Minnesota, I mean, where was Dalvin Cook tonight? Like, I know y'all were down, but you weren't down enough for him to only get 9 carries. Was he hurt? He only had 9 carries. He 9 for 13. They shut him down. They said, we're going to play 2 safeties back, okay? But go ahead and try to run. And they would double team Kenny Clark. And Kenny Clark is a monster up front, I'll tell you. Like, I used to think that Deron Payne was better than Kenny Clark. No. If somebody double teamed Deron Payne, he would get pushed back 5 yards. Guaranteed. Same thing with Jonathan Allen. He would get back 5 yards. But Kenny Clark is a monster. Kenny Clark is a 300 whatever pound monster. And he was taking on double teams. He was pushing them back, and he was blowing up plays before they could even begin. And so I love what I saw out of Kenny Clark tonight. He had a big game, but they just couldn't get anything going. Minnesota, like, I'll just ramble off a bunch of stat lines, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So Mannion had 189 and a touch. Okay. Crap. Dalvin Cook, 9 for 13. Nothing. Mannion had 14 yards running on 2 carries. And 7-yard average, but like, what's 14 yards, Justin Jefferson, 6 catches for 58 yards. KJ Osborne, 3 for 50, and he had that, touchdown. Ooh, touchdown. Tyler Conklin, 5 for 47. Shout out Tyler Conklin. Hope you're healthy. I know he took that big shot on that crazy reception by the center, Garrett Bradbury. Garrett Bradbury looked like a fullback on that play. That was an amazing play. I loved every second of that play. That was great stuff. That was, if you love football, you love that play, because that play was crazy. Like, it's even in the stat line here. 1 for 21 goes Garrett Bradbury. Alexander Madison came in 4 for 13. Okay, whatever. So you guys ran the ball 11 times in the whole game. You are a rushing team, especially without Adam Thielen. You're a rushing team. Run the football. And they dared him to run the ball. They said, run the ball on us. We don't care. They played 2 high safety. They said, we're going to take away Justin Jefferson. You're not going to throw to Justin Jefferson deep on us. Sorry, that's not about to happen. And they said, run it on us. And then they said, Kenny Clark, I don't care if this thing goes left, right, up the middle. I want you to stop it. And he said, yes, coach. I'm going to stop it. And he did that all night long. That front for Green Bay, it was astounding tonight. Tell me how this stat line happens, people. Tell me how this stat line happens. Dalvin Cook has 3 catches for 0 yards. What? 3 catches for 0 yards? Did all 3 catches go for no gain, or you have like a 10-yard loss and then 2, 5-yard catches? Like, how does that happen? That is like the craziest stat I've ever seen. 3 catches for 0 yards. And this is the best offensive player you have right now. And some might make an argument, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, kind of same level. But okay, I'm saying one of, if not the best. Dalvin Cook goes 3 catches, 0 yards, and 9 carries for 13 yards. That is an insane stat line for Dalvin Cook, who is your best offensive player all around. Unbelievable. Defensively, nothing. I mean, nothing. Could not get pressure. Could not get pressure on Rodgers. No sacks this game. No interceptions. There was nothing to speak of positively for Minnesota. Like, if I'm Minnesota, I am evaluating everybody. Like, there's 2 me. Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook. And I mean, maybe if you go on the defensive side, Dalvin Tomlinson. Maybe DJ Wonham, Anthony Barr, Harrison Smith, those guys. But I mean, everybody else, like Harrison Smith might even be up for auction. Like, I don't know. That Minnesota thing, it looks like it's going to need to be blown up. Tell me what you think below, Minnesota fans. Tell me. This was an all-around shellacking by Green Bay. Green Bay probably going to rest all their starters next week. Minnesota might well rest their starters because they've got nothing to play for. They are out of it. There's nothing left for them to play for, just like Washington. No, you're not going to hear any bad talk from me because we're in the same boat. We just lost again today. Except I think we're worse. I'm almost positive we're worse. Let me just check real quick. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and to comment below in the chat. Comment below. Yeah, Washington is actually worse. We are 6-10. We lost today, so we're 6-10. Yeah, the Packers locked up number 1 seed. I seen a funny thing today that if the playoffs started today, Dallas Cowboys would be taking on Arizona Cardinals in the first round. I'm talking first round boot. First round boot for them Dallas Cowboys. First round boot. I'm calling it. Philly might win the first round, surprise somebody, whatever, with their rushing attack, but Philly might make it past the first round. That's it, though. One and done. I heard Philly fans all over Twitter running their mouth because they made the playoffs and this was supposed to be a reboot year for them, blah, 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 and they still made the playoffs. Whatever. You didn't win your division. Stop talking. You got 1 Super Bowl. Everybody else in your division has 3 or more. So stop talking that crap. Lord Brunson. Minnesota. Minnesota currently sits with the 12th pick in the draft. Washington sits at 9. I really don't know what to say. Really, like Minnesota, it's meh. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not great. It's not horrible. Guess you're not the Jacksonville Jaguars, who got blown out 50-10 or whatever today. Detroit, what are they? MCDC, what is that? Like, can he turn things around? Word's coming out that Chicago's going to get rid of their head coach. Shoot. His name slips my mind right now. Chiefs offensive coordinator. Can't think of his name right now. But nonetheless, they're going to have a new head coach. Minnesota, do you want a new head coach? Do you want a new quarterback? What are we doing with Kirk Cousins? How good is Justin Jefferson? Like, how good can he be? I'm telling you, this team reminds me a lot of Washington. Got the star receiver. Of course, you guys also have Adam Thielen when he's healthy. So there's that. I don't know. Let me know. Remember, like the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to hop up here, DM me. Find me on Twitter at Burgundy Boss. That's BurgandyBoss. Burgundy Boss on Twitter. Come on here. Talk football with me. It's easy. Just like a couple guys at the bar. Till next time, y'all. Take care. This is your boy Burgundy Boss, and I am